Hello guys. Um, okay, this is not the correct slide. Let me go to the correct slide. Okay. Hello guys, it's Mr. Satolo with a lesson for information technology. It's just the wrong slide here. I'm going to show up the right slide now. It's just that my computer is running a bit slower. It's a bit slow. Okay, here's the lesson that I want. Okay. Okay. My PowerPoint is a bit slow. I guess it's because of my computer's battery. Oh, okay. Check the slide first. What's going on here? Okay. Okay. Just a minute. I don't know what's happening with my computer here. It's just don't want to respond, but I will start very soon. Okay. Seems as if my PowerPoint here have a problem. Okay. Let me reopen it again. Just close and reopen it. Okay. Seems as if it is coming okay now. Oh, I'm sorry guys. This thing is taking too much time, okay? This is 11. Okay, I forgot to change this when I do my PowerPoint. Let me just change it now. Okay, let me take it back here. I've been trying to solve this. I don't know what's the problem, but it will be okay very soon. Okay, guys, our today's topic is we are going to be comparing internet versus intranet and versus extranet. So here, let me just jump here into the objectives of the lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you are supposed to know the difference between these three because they are not the same. We've got an internet which runs in the World Wide Web. We've got an intranet which is a network owned by a particular organization, and an extranet as well, which is an internet owned by a particular organization. And then after that, we are going to look at, because our topic all along has been internet technologies. So we are going to look at jobs that are related to internet technologies. We've got web designers. We're going to look at the requirements of you to be a web designer. And then we've got web authors. We're going to look at the requirements that you need to be a web author. And then we've got graphic and multimedia designers. We are going to look at the requirements of the two. So right now, I will just jump straight to the first slide. Okay, my PowerPoint is a bit slow here. Okay, let me just go back there to the first one. Okay, so we're going to start with the intranet. An intranet is shared content accessed by members within a single organization, which means this when we talk about an intranet, we're talking about a network that is shared only by members of a single organization. If just let me say, make an example by a school. A school, maybe we've got this software we call SASEMS. It will only run on the members of that school, on the where the network it is located on that organization. Like for example, a LAN, a local area network. Remember, we've got two main types of networks. We've got a LAN, we've got a WAN. A LAN is a local area network. So just like, let me make an example with your school computer lab. If it is networked, there will be a server, and the server is going to share resources among the clients. There will be a server and clients. So that I will say that is an example of an intranet. It's an internet that is made to share resources only among a particular organization. And then we've got an extranet. It's shared content accessed by groups through cross enterprises boundaries. So if, let me just make an example with a bank here. If you are a user of a particular bank, you will have access to their apps, to everything, to their internet, to their website. And let me make an example and say Standard Bank or FNB or ABSA, it doesn't matter where you are. Right now, it is broader. So, but it is only the people who have rights to it are the bank managers, the people who are working at the bank, and the bank customers, the people who are using the who are using that bank to bank their money there. But if you are another user, you can access their website, but you have limited, you are limited on those websites. So that is an extranet. And then when we come to the internet, is a global communication accessed through the web. So the internet is the www. You can access it. It can be accessed by anyone. Anyone who accesses the internet can get every kind of information that is there in the internet. No one has limits. Nobody, there are no boundaries. You just access it anytime you want, and you can use anything you want that is in the internet. So that is the difference between the three. So right now I've got this diagram here. This is a network diagram that can explain how does this whole thing work. So maybe let's say here we have the here we've got the internet, and then we have the extranet, and then here we have the intranet. So in the intranet, what is happening is, so in this diagram here, you can see these two computers here are the ones connected to each other, but they are also using the firewall. So let me say, make an example of the firewall as the IP protocol. The IP protocol is the one that allows access to websites and all other things. But here, the only people that are going to use is these people. And then when it comes to this is the organization that will use this internet only for this organization. But when we come here to the extranet, we have got customers here. They're able to use the internet of this organization, and we have got their servers here. So this one is much broader than the intranet. And then when it comes to the internet, everyone is connected to it. Connects this side and it also connects this side. The internet servers can connect these customers here. They can connect here to the firewall. Even these people can get also the information from the internet. So that is what this diagram is trying to explain, the difference between an internet, extranet, and an intranet. So, okay, I will start here. The internet, extranet, and intranet all rely on the same TCP or IP protocol. On the previous lesson, we came across TCP and IP protocol. This is the protocol that allows the sharing of information and accessing of website in the internet. It works together with the HTTP. Yes, HTTP, to allow the flow of the information in the internet. So all of these things work with the same protocol, but they differs according to their boundaries. Some are limited, and the internet is not limited. The extranet allow everyone to use, but it have limits. The intranet can only be used by the members of that organization only. However, there are differences in terms of levels of access they allow to various users inside and outside the organization and the sizes of the network. So the difference lies here. Firstly is the levels of access that are allowed for various users inside and outside the organization, and the size of the network. So the first thing is the limitations. Secondly is the size of that particular network. When you remember well, some people used to confuse the internet and network. The internet is like a combination of all the networks in the world, and when all the networks in the world, the computers, the computing devices are connected together, they form the internet. Whereas a network can work for a particular organization, it can be a wide network or a local network. Okay, let me come to the next point. An intranet allow for restricted access to only members of an organization. So this one will only allow members of that particular organization to access their internet, their internet or their network. And then an extranet expands that access by allowing non-members such as suppliers and customers to use company resources. Just like, let me say, for example, when you go to the bank, when you are a bank customer, like I made an example with a bank before, sometimes even if you can have a banking app, sometimes you are limited. There are things that you cannot do on your own. In order for you to do them, you need to go to the bank so that they can do them for you. Otherwise, on your own, you cannot do all of those things. So this one will allow everyone, the customers, the suppliers, and everyone, but you have limited access to their resources. You cannot take full control. And then the difference between the internet and extranet is that while the extranet allows limited access to non-members of an organization. The internet generally allows everyone to access all network resources. So right now, coming to the internet will allow everyone to access their resources. Whereas the other two, they don't allow everyone. Okay, right now we're going to come to the intranet. The intranet is a private network set up and controlled by an organization to encourage communication amongst its members. So the main aim of this intranet is to allow communication only amongst their members. The network aims to improve efficiency and share information. Intranets are restricted access network that operates like the internet, but in an isolated function. So this is going to operate like the internet. Maybe a website, a particular organization can have a website, but it is only accessed by their members. The intranet utilize TCP and IP protocols. So the TCP and the IP protocol that allows the flow of data in the web also function here, but it is only for a particular organization, making web pages appear as they do on the internet. However, access is restricted. So the web pages of that organization will appear there, but it's like when you go to a hospital, okay, maybe they have their own, they can check you in their database, even no matter which computer you go there, or in the, maybe you go to the district office or you go to the SEMS of a particular school. Or okay, let me leave that district office aside, to the SEMS of a particular school. Each and every teacher on that school will be able to open the SASEMS and check your information there. But when you go to another school, they will be using the same SASEMS, but it is only for that particular school. It carries information about the learners of that particular school. So that is an intranet. So, and then an extranet, now we're going to come to an extranet. The extranet is the extended form of, I'm sorry, just a minute. I'm sorry, just a minute. Oh, I'm sorry for that distraction. I'm sorry for that distraction. Okay, let's continue. We have an extranet here. The extranet is the extended form of the internet, in addition to allow access only to authorized members. The extranet uses firewalls and protocols to permit access to users outside the organization. So here I will make an example like, yes, I was talking maybe about the Department of Education. No matter, you can go to which district, they can be able to see the information about you. They can be able to see where were you working, where were you employed before, all of those things. That is an extranet. It is a bit wide. The extranet is a private network that implements internet protocols and public networks to safely share resources with outside parties, such as customers, suppliers, partners, and vendors. Just like we were saying, another example of this can be a bank network. Okay, now we are going to come to internet related web designers. Internet related careers, and then the first thing the first thing that you can be, if you are interested in internet related careers, you can be a web designer to design websites and web pages. So let's see what a web designer do. Okay, we have got a web designer, we've got a web author, and I will highlight the differences between the two. A web designer creates the visual elements that make up a web page, deciding on layout, color scheming, and text formatting. So this is very important. The description, this is the job description of a web designer. So a web designer is going to focus on the visual elements of that site. Let me say, for example, if you can visit sites like WordPress or Wix, what else, Wix or Weebly, you can find templates of websites that are already designed, but they don't have content. There is no content. You can just go there um, and sign up to the site. Then you can get your own free designed website. So it is already designed, but it doesn't have the content. So that is what a web designer do. So some people can go there. Some people sell website designs which doesn't have contents, because the web designer is going to look at the visual elements and make up a web page, then decide on the layout, color scheming, and the text formatting of that website. So a web designer doesn't put the content there. They just design the structure of the website. And then a web designer works with a variety of programming languages to create web pages and internet sites. Web designers are responsible for the visual look of a page. And in large organizations, they usually only work in the design field. In small operators, they may be responsible for the efficiency functioning of the entire site. So here, the web designer needs to know programming languages in order to structure that website. So the programming languages that we're talking about before, that can make we talked about a lot of them: HTML to structure the website. We've got CSS to style the structure of the website. We've got JavaScripts to make your website to be interactive. We've got Ajax. It also adds to the interactivity of the website. So that is what a web designer do. First thing, one skill that he must know programming languages. Web designers must be therefore have a good grasp of traditional design fundamentals, as well as an advanced knowledge of the current and emerging internet technologies that will allow them to make their ideas reality on the internet. So secondly, a web designer should be good in designing. That is another skill that they need. And another thing, they must keep up with the current technologies so that they can be able to do something that is relevant in the current time. So here are some of the languages. So we have discussed two skills now that a web designer need. First skill is that they must know programming languages. Secondly, they must be good at designing, and they must keep up with the current technologies. So the languages that you will need, you may need HTML, JavaScript, CSS, PHP, and Flash are the most widely used programming languages that allow web designers to formulate and control different elements on a web page. Educational requirements vary by employer, but those who wish to learn web design can earn a career diploma, associate degree, or bachelor's degree. So those are the educational requirements that you may need, depending on the needs of the employer. So you may have a diploma, associate's degree, or a bachelor's degree. And then so the skills here, I was just outlining the skills as we have discussed them here. So the skills are software programming, graphic design, creativity. You need to be creative in order for you to be able to create websites that will be loved by people, in order for you to get many customers. And you must have a good imagination of things and be able to put those imaginations into reality. Keep up to date with technologies. That is another thing that we said. You must keep up to date with the trending and new technologies. Okay, right now we're going to come to web authors. Web authors are technical writers and website developers. So mostly here they specialize on creating the content of the website that has been already designed by the website designer and the website developer, and they also developers of the website. So now here is the difference. That person, the other person, the web designer, will design the structure and the visual of the elements of that website. And then this one is going to put the content on the website. Okay, let's go to the second point. They plan, research, and author content available on the internet. So what they need to do here, they need to plan and research, and then they will write the content that is available in the internet. Okay, these people just need to be creative. Sometimes you may find good writers like freelancers, so they need to be creative. And then let's come here. Web authors also build website, produce the requirements, coding languages, and develop the site's layout, look and feel, and under interface. So they can also, some of the people can also code the languages and do the same as the designer do, but the designer's work is much different to a web author. The designer doesn't put the content, they just create the structure and the visual, on the visual elements of that website. They work for web design companies, information technology consultant firms, media organizations, and marketing corporate communications departments of private companies. So these people can be hired under a company that deals with web designers. so that they can put the content. So when you remember well, on the previous lesson, we talked about things like search engine optimization. So these are the people who will be responsible for jobs like that, for things like that. When we look at their job description, because search engine optimization needs exactly the skills that they have, the web authors. Web authors are also sometimes called webmasters. Okay, so when you know that when they say a webmaster, the other name of a webmaster is a web author. Educational requirements vary by employer, but those who wish to learn web authoring can earn a career diploma, associate degree, so the requirements are still the same. Okay, the skills we have already discussed. And then here we have graphics and multimedia designers. A graphic designer uses visual elements to communicate messages through print and electronic media. So here, these are people who are basically doing animations in their website, multimedia designers. Okay, let me continue here. He or she may design magazines, newspapers, websites, packaging, video games, promotional display, and marketing material. So these people mostly they are based on the animation parts. You can see they can even create video games, promotional displays, marketing materials. I think I would like this one to explain more. Marketing materials, maybe like when it comes to things like Google ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, just like when you're watching a video on YouTube, maybe while you are still watching, you will see an ad. Maybe there will be a button on this other side that says in 3 seconds, you can skip the video. So that is what these people do. So they deal with animation, mostly video games, and then especially for marketing material, those things. You may be playing a video in YouTube and then you comes another video of which it is not the video you're playing, but it's just an ad. Graphic designers work for advertising, publishing, and design firms. So here, as we have said, most of the videos that you see there on the ads part, the Facebook ads, or maybe when you go to a website, you will find ads trying to promise